Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to conference number 48 of the phase A of this self-knowledge course. Today we will be talking about Astral Unfolding and we'll be explaining the technique of chanting mantras to achieve conscious unfolding to the astral world. Today we'll be explaining the correct pronunciation of several quite effective mantras to achieve this purpose of consciously unfolding ourselves. But first, let's remember some important things about astral unfolding. Why is it called astral unfolding? It is called unfolding because it consists of taking out an internal double or soul, a body exactly the same as the physical one. It is not of a cellular nature like the physical one, but rather of a molecular nature. And since it is of a different nature, it has different properties. For example, that body can stretch and then return to its original state. So if we are unfolded and we stretch a finger to check, for example, if we are in the physical or in the astral, if we are in the astral dimension, the finger stretches. Also, with this body being of a lighter nature, we can fly, we can go through walls. So if we are in the astral and we jump, we can remain floating in the air. Or if we try to go through a wall or any object with our hand, we can do it. And the reason why it is called astral is because with it we can travel to all the celestial bodies or astros or another planets. The astral unfolding is nothing paranormal or strange. It is actually a completely natural process that occurs every time our physical body falls asleep. Every time we fall asleep, we go to the astral world, also known as the fifth dimension or the dreams world. And we usually do it unconsciously. So here we learn to do it consciously in order to take advantage of this useful practice to advance in our inner work. What can we use astral projection for? First of all, when we achieve astral unfolding, we realize we are more than this physical body. Then we realize that there are more dimensions besides this third dimension in which our physical body develops. The information that we can obtain in the astral world is unlimited. Unfolding is in itself a very important tool for self-knowledge. Actually, we can investigate whatever we want. In the astral world, we can connect with our own immortal and eternal being. So by connecting with that higher part of our consciousness, we could solve those existential questions, such as what is the purpose of our existences, what happens when we die. We can investigate our past lives. Also, we can investigate in which of our 108 existences in this cycle we are currently in. We can visit a relative or friend who has passed away, go to the court of objective justice, see the book of our karmic debts, meet the superior parts of our consciousness, our internal father and divine mother. We can verify with our divine mother the process of psychological death. How is the work with a certain defect going? We can visit a temple of wisdom. We can investigate if there is life in other planets, visit places on this planet. If we don't have a couple, we can ask our being, who is that person that is going to help us with the creation of our internal existential bodies. We can meet masters of the White Lodge and receive wisdom from them. We can also verify if someone that calls himself a master is really a true master. We can investigate religions and esoteric schools to see if they are pure and good. We can investigate this knowledge to see if it is true and pure and corroborate everything we'll be learning along the course. These are just some examples of the things we can investigate in a conscious astral projection. The important thing is to use this technique for our self-knowledge and our spiritual development. Now, let's also clear out some of the misconceptions that exist in relation to this practice. For example, some may say it is a dangerous practice. It is important to know that our soul and our physical body are connected by the silver cord, which is unbreakable and expandable. It's a cord that unites both bodies, the physical and the astral, and that can only be broken by the death ray at the moment of the death of the physical body, as we saw in conference number 2. Therefore, the rumors and myths about certain dangers during astral travel are invalid and unfounded, such as that we can stay in the astral and not being able to return, or that when we return, someone else could have taken possession of our body. This is totally impossible due to that energetic cord. Some say it's hard to achieve, and the truth is that the practice is possible for everyone. And it turns out to be that precisely believing the concept that it is difficult makes it difficult for us to achieve it, since what we believe we create. Therefore, if we focus on the fact that this is difficult or complicated or a dangerous practice, these concepts will prevent us from succeeding. If we do the practice believing beforehand that we won't make it, we certainly won't. And if we do the practice with fear, fear will block our access, since the astral is totally related to our emotions. Also, some say that it is only for spiritually advanced people, and that's not true either. We can all achieve conscious astral projection, even though the more you advance in your process of self-knowledge, the more in-depth research you will be able to carry out. Some say that we should not practice this because it is something negative or diabolical. Although it is true that there are malicious people who use this practice for evil purposes, such as stealing energy from other people, the practice will be positive or negative depending on the good or bad use we give to it, depending on our intentions. Here, we are teaching this practice to advance in our process of self-knowledge and the development of our own consciousness. In addition, we always recommend doing this practice asking for the guidance of our inner being, which represents wisdom and love. There are many ways to do this, many techniques we could apply. For example, concentration. This practice consists of concentrating on something, for example, on the rhythm of our breathing or on the beat of our hearts, and keeping all our concentration focused on it while our physical body falls asleep and we begin to feel the symptoms of the unfolding. Also, we have the imagination. If we are good at imagining, this technique is perfect and consists of imagining a place in the most vivid and detailed way possible. For example, you can imagine your living room, or you can imagine a beach, and you imagine everything in detail. Imagine the sand, the feeling of the sand on your feet, the sea, the wind, the feeling of the wind on your face, the sun, the heat of the sun. And by doing this in great detail, we will suddenly find ourselves projected in that place, but in a conscious state. We can use the sleep vigil. This technique is excellent for those who fall asleep very easily. It consists only of monitoring the arrival of symptoms that indicate that the physical body has fallen asleep. And if we snore, we can even hear the snoring of the physical body while we are conscious there. We remain concentrated, feeling the body, and we are going to begin to feel several symptoms, and we are going to be able to realize that the physical body has fallen asleep. And we are going to get out of bed in the astral body, and we are going to verify that we are unfolded. For example, giving a jump with the intention of floating. If we are in the astral, we will remain floating. Or we could also stretch out a finger, and if it stretches, then we will realize that we are in the astral world. We could even look at the bed and see our physical body there sleeping. Another one is practicing psychological death. This technique is very good because it consists of eliminating all the defects that are manifesting at the moment, whether they are thoughts, feelings, emotions, sensations, worries, fears, anxieties, all those things that begin to appear in our mind and in our body, and that do not allow us to concentrate enough to achieve the unfolding. So as soon as we observe any of these details, we are going to ask our Divine Mother to eliminate them, and we immediately return to concentration until we begin to feel the symptoms. And the last technique, and the one we are going to be teaching today, is chanting mantras. This is probably the most effective of all. It consists of emitting sounds that will generate a certain vibration in our body that will accelerate the unfolding process. A mantra is a word of power that generates certain vibrations, and through them we can achieve many things. In this case, the mantras that we will see today generate a certain vibration in our astral body and allow the unfolding to happen more easily. There are many mantras that we could use for this purpose, but today we will see some that are very, very effective. As we can see here, we have the mantras Pharaon, Laras, O, R, and S. So now I'm going to explain the practice step by step and explain how these mantras should be pronounced. Well, we need to choose a comfortable position to fall asleep. It is preferable to use the supine position, since in that position it is easier to feel the symptoms. But if it is impossible for you to fall asleep in that position, you can choose another. So the first step is to clean and energetically close the place where we are. We can do this with the chant of Belilin, and the closing we do it with the magic circle of protection, as we learned in lecture number 7. The Belilin chant will cleanse the environment of any negative energy that could distract us from the practice, and the magic circle will close the place so that those negative energies cannot return. Also, these conjurations will help us to avoid sleep paralysis. Then we ask our inner being to assist us during the practice and help us to succeed. And then we set ourselves an objective to achieve for when we are unfolded. The objective is what we are going to do or investigate in the astral. It may be a past life, meet our inner father or divine mother, visit another planet, etc., etc. Then we proceed to relax. Relaxation is very important because it puts us in an optimal state so that we can easily feel the symptoms of the unfolding. So, to relax the mind, we are going to focus on listening to distant sounds in the environment for at least 1 minute, without thinking about them or becoming identified with them. To relax the emotion, we are going to inhale deeply. And then, you are going to exhale through your mouth. Repeat as many times as necessary until you feel the emotional center relaxed. To relax the physical body, you can visualize how a green bright light relaxes all the parts of your body from bottom to top, starting with your right foot. You visualize it, feel it, and command your foot to relax and calm down. So you'll do with all the other parts of the body. After relaxing, then you proceed to use the technique that you have chosen. In this case, the mantra you prefer. Let us keep in mind that we must repeat the mantras audibly 10 to 15 times, lengthening it for 6 seconds, and then we continue pronouncing it mentally until the symptoms appear and the time comes to do the check, the verification, if we are in the astral or in the physical. Well, the first mantra we can use is the mantra Pharaon. This mantra is pronounced as follows. Pharaon. 5 to 6 seconds, no more. And while we pronounce this mantra, we must concentrate and imagine a pyramid between our eyebrows. Okay, so let's repeat how the pronunciation is. Pharaon. Once more. The next one is the mantra Laras, and it is pronounced as follows. La La and we must imagine a violet light between our eyebrows as we pronounce it. We also have the mantra O. This is pronounced as follows. O, O, O. And with this, we must concentrate on our hearts. Also, we have the mantra R. This is very good for people who fall asleep very easily. It is pronounced this way. It sounds like a cat's paw, and we must concentrate on the throat when pronouncing it. Finally, we have the mantra S. Very good for those who have difficulty falling asleep. This is pronounced like this. And while we pronounce it, we must concentrate on the point in the middle of our eyebrows. Well, when your astral body is separating from your physical body, you may feel any of these symptoms. You can feel your body inflating. You also can feel that you are floating. You may feel your body swaying gently as if you are being rocked. You can feel your legs and arms rise and float. You may feel a sensation of electric current. You can also feel that you are spinning at a high speed. You can feel a noise, you can feel a noise next to your ears, or you can consciously appear in a dream. So what should we do when we feel the symptoms? We need to control our emotional center, our emotions, and relax. Don't panic or feel euphoric, but relax even more and allow the symptoms to escalate. When we feel that the symptom is strong enough, we get up and check if we are already unfolded. And we can do this by jumping with the intention of floating, stretching our finger, or trying to go through something with our hand. If upon checking you find that you are still in the physical body because you didn't float or your finger didn't stretch, then you return to bed and continue using the technique until you feel the symptoms again. If when you stand up to check you remain floating or your finger stretches, it means that you are in the astral plane. Then you remember your objective and go for it. It is important to keep in mind that we should use only one mantra per practice, since each mantra has a specific vibration, and if we change mantras in the same practice, we will mix the vibrations and it will not work, okay? Also, you need to mantralize slowly and lengthening each syllable. You can repeat the mantra out loud about 10 to 15 times. Then you keep repeating the mantra in your mind until you start feeling the symptoms. Well, this is the practice of astral unfolding using the mantras technique. Remember that the secret is to practice with a lot of patience until you achieve it. And remember that wanting is power and that the practice makes perfection. This is the lecture for today. Thank you very much for being here. You are cordially invited to the next conference where we will learn the very purpose of our existence on this planet, and we are going to know the 10 steps we must take to achieve self-realization of our inner being. Remember that any question you have, you can leave it in the comments in the comment section. So thank you very much and bye-bye.